to school, back to school, to prove to my daddy that I'm not a fool. I got my shoes tight. I hope I don't get in a fight.
We're getting everyone drunk right now.
This is Ivy.
And this is Gidget.
And you're listening to
Slut Shame This.
Reunited, and it feels so good.
So good.
We're back together. Fucking finally. I missed you.
I missed you.
And we missed you guys.
Yes. How was your week, Gidget?
My week was pretty fucking busy. Just getting back into school. Back to school. Back to school.
What's that?
From Adam Sandler, Billy Madison. I got my boots tied. I hope I don't get in a fight.
I don't know it.
You've never seen Billy Madison?
I saw it like once, but I don't know it as on a quotable level.
Wow.
Should I get on that?
I mean, I don't know.
I think it's too late, right?
Yeah, I don't know how well it would translate, but I don't remember the last time I saw it. But
when I heard Back to School, I thought of the Deftones song.
Yeah. I mean, you can also think of that, but the more reasonable thing to think of would be Billy Madison. Yeah.
I feel like I saw a meme recently that was about how before memes, we had to just quote movies. Yeah. And it was like Billy Madison.
I think it literally said before memes, we just quoted Billy Madison back and forth to each other all the time.
And I felt very out of the loop. I was like, hello?
Hello, Mr. Penguin. I'll keep doing it.
I have no idea what's going on, but I like it. Mm-hmm. I like your rendition. I'm just going to quote you.
Quoting.
So it's going to be like Inception.
Like you Billy miss 100% of the shots you don't take Wayne Gretzky, Michael Scott.
Exactly.
That's what she said.
I'm Michael Scott here.
Yeah. And I'll just keep quoting as long as you keep leading me into new things.
Okay, perfect.
So cut me off.
Maybe people listening can play a drinking game every time you sneak in a Billy Madison reference. They can take a sip. I was in New York. I just went for fun. I've worked all year and hadn't taken really any time off. So this was my little getaway for 6 days. I got tattooed out there.
Nice.
I have a new tattoo on my hip. It says Thrillsville with barbed wire on it, and I love it so much.
What is Thrillsville?
So the girl that tattooed it on me, I had sex with her, and after we had sex, she said that my body was Thrillsville, and I just thought it was really funny and fun, and because she's a tattoo artist, I thought she should be the one to tattoo it on me.
That's adorable.
And I like her style, and she does really good barbed wire, so I was like, let's just, I already have roses, because I was like, oh, let's do rose thorns, and then I was like, no, let's switch it up, let's go.
That Pamela Anderson
exactly.
Classic. I love it. I also think Thrillsville is like an amusement park or something in Tennessee.
It sounds great. I mean, it should. I mean, that's kind of the idea. Is so
it could be an ode to that too. So this week we're going to be talking about polyamory.
Yes.
What?
I'm so excited to talk about the subject because I don't really know a lot about it myself.
Me neither. I'm a monogamous slut, as I like to say, but I don't know how I do it. Yeah, there is a Thrillville. Wait.
Is it just Thrillville or is it
Thrillsville?
Thrillsville Adventure Park in Kentucky.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. choose your own adventure.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Is it barbed wire or is it a roller coaster?
I don't know.
Probably barbed wire.
Yeah.
They don't really look alike, but I was picturing something that says like Thrillsville with
Like,
roller coaster behind
just
it.
like the skyline of Six Flags.
Exactly.
I got the skyline of Six Flags in its entirety on my thigh.
Yeah.
It looks gorgeous.
Yeah, Magic Mountain. I mean, that's
Hurricane Harbor.
literally. I mean, that's what Travis Scott did with Astroworld.
Is it?
Yeah, that was the Six Flags of Houston. that he
Okay,
used to
I
always
didn't
go
even know
to.
it was like a real thing.
Yeah,
I didn't do
and
my
then
research on
it got shut down. So
that. So he like kind of like recreated his own little version.
yeah,
I love that.
And when I saw the tour, he had a roller coaster in the forum and everything. It was
Was
really
it
fun.
full on sicko mode in there?
I was in sicko mode. Like, oh
I
my
love being
God.
in sicko mode.
I was so sick and such in a mode.
Oh, is that? That's not Billy. Is that Billy Madison?
No, that was because I've been watching
Fargo?
Fargo, Soda Pop.
Soda pop. Wait, what have you even watched? Was I right?
No, I was trying to nail a Scottish accent, actually.
Oh.
And then, not right now, but this week.
Okay.
And someone said that doing a Scottish accent is basically like doing a Minnesota, but then you like change a few.
They changed it a little bit.
I've been really into like vocal tutorials on
Is this
YouTube.
the actor in you coming out a little bit?
No.
What prompted vocal tutorials?
Well, I saw something on Twitter of someone doing posted a clip of a YouTube video of someone teaching you how to do the Beyonce intro to Love on Top.
Oh.
And she like really broke it down really fast and really easily, and it sounds like it's really hard.
Okay.
And
You were fascinated?
So I learned it, and then I was like, I went down a rabbit hole.
Yeah. You're like, I'm unstoppable now.
Yeah, and then I was like, fuck singing, let's look into dialects. Like, let's get it going. So then one thing led to another.
And here you are doing a Minnesota?
Minnesota.
Minnesota, yeah. Back to polyamory. You've never tried it. You're a monogamous slut, right?
Yeah,
That's how you
I've
identify.
never tried it.
Would you ever?
I don't think I'm opposed to it, but I don't think it would work for me. I don't know how, just like with my nature and with like the kind of men that I'm generally attracted to.
Right.
Like I feel like I'm just kind of a one.
You're like a ride or die.
I'm a one
Bonnie
dick
and
wonder.
Clyde.
Yeah.
I would definitely try, but I don't know if I would succeed.
Yeah.
I think I might function better in an open relationship.
Why do you think you'd get jealous?
Yeah, I think that I mean I get jealous about guys that aren't even my boyfriend. So I can't imagine like I've never been in love with someone that also has feelings for someone else. I think that would be it'd be a difficult thing. But I think that I could handle sex with other people, especially because I do it for work. I am very interested on the subject because I actually met a polyamorous couple recently. Tamara, the person I was speaking of who tattooed me, is part of a polyamorous relationship with Justin. And they are both tattoo artists from New York. I met them at the Saguaro during my birthday weekend, and I was just really curious about their relationship, and I got a chance to go on dates with them, but I want to kind of know more about the inner workings of what a poly relationship looks like.
Yeah, so you had an opportunity to interview him, right? Well,
Yes.
I was schooling.
You were schooling, and we had to like sneak him in because he was only here for a couple days, and he was here tattooing, and he was so kind enough to head over last night on his way to his red eye, and we got a little interview in, and I really just wanted to pick his brain about what it's like to be in a polyamorous relationship, especially because he was not poly prior to this relationship.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah, so I really wanted to get to know what it's like to go from being monogamous to poly, and I have friends that have, touched around in the poly life and decided it's not for them. I've had friends that do the open relationships, and I've never really seen a successful image of that.
Yeah.
But they seem to look like one. They've been together for 4 years, so
Interesting. I can't wait to hear it.
Yes.
Cool.
So without further ado,
Here is Justin.
All right, guys, this is a really fun episode. We have my friend Justin in as our special guest this week.
Yes.
Hi, Justin.
Hi, I'm so stoked to be here. Thank you for having me.
We have you all the way from New York.
Yes.
And our subject of the week is polyamory. If you're not familiar with polyamory, it is being amorous of many.
It's being completely amorous. Yes.
So amorous. It's polyamory is being able to be in love or emotionally intimate with more than one person at a time, right?
I think that's pretty accurate. Yeah, that's a good simplified breakdown for sure.
And so you're in a polyamorous relationship, and we're going to kind of talk about that and also the differences between polyamory and an open relationship. So we're here to kind of just dissect these ideas a little bit and get to know Justin. He's been in a polyamorous relationship for 4 years. I've had the pleasure of having sex with him and his girlfriend. So I can say firsthand that they seem very healthy and happy in their situation. Tell our listeners a little bit about yourself. What do you do for a living? What do you do for fun?
Well, I guess there's a lot to tell, but I guess the generic answer is I'm a tattooer. Been in New York for 12 years, been tattooing for 20, and played music. I do a lot of illustration, painting, but for the most part, I do tattooing as my main thing. I organize a tattoo convention as well.
What's your tattoo convention called?
It's called Pagoda City Tattoo Fest. It's
Pagoda City?
Yeah.
What's Pagoda City?
It's called that because it's like the icon of like the town where it's in.
Okay.
So it's like we just kind of named it that because you always see the pagoda in the area where.
Okay, what's a pagoda?
A pagoda is like a Japanese or Chinese or Asian kind of monument.
Okay.
And it's kind of strangely there on the side of the
Pennsylvania.
mountain. In Pennsylvania.
Okay.
So it's like, hence the name. So there you go.
Shout out to the Pagoda Pennsylvanians.
Yeah, sure.
What?
Go for it.
All right.
It works.
You guys can't see Justin, but he looks very much like a tattoo artist. He's
Yeah.
a hot guy covered in tattoos. And that's kind of how I met him. I met him on my birthday weekend at the Saguaro. I have mentioned that in a previous episode. I was drunkies by the pool, thought you were super cute, and you called me over maybe, and I came over and said hi.
We made eye contact a few times.
Well, yeah, I was making myself known, and then I said something I asked if you had a girlfriend or.
Yeah, well, she wasn't there yet.
No, it's just you.
And I was like,
friends.
come over, because we obviously had something going on with our eyes. And I was like, come over, say hi. And came over, said hi, talked, had a little conversation. Was there for my pre-birthday extravaganza as well with some friends. And then when Tamara showed up.
I feel like we mentioned her before she showed up.
Actually, I don't think I did.
Really?
Yeah, no, I didn't. And then when she showed up, she came down and said, hi, I got a kiss, blah, 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 blah. And then she went up to go get changed. You came over and were like, hey, are you here with anyone? And I was like, actually, I am. I was like, I'm here with my partner, Tamara. You guys need to meet. You guys are going to get along really well.
And I was like, what? No, girlfriends don't like me.
And then you proved that one wrong. Or she proved that one wrong.
She proved that wrong. So then, she came down and turns out that her and I got along really well too. And I've met a lot of guys that tell me that their girlfriend's going to love me and that they're open and then this and that. And turns out either they're not in an open relationship at all and their girlfriend has no idea I ever existed or fucked their boyfriend. Or it's like they're open but doesn't seem like they really want it to be.
Maybe one-sided.
Yeah, I'm there, I'm in the bedroom, and it just seems like I feel a lot of awkwardness. Usually when men tell me that they have a girlfriend and she's cool with it. She's down. She knows what's up. I've experienced that that's usually not the case. Oftentimes the girlfriend never has a clue that they even talked to me and or slid into my DMs and or fucked me. Other times I've had threesomes with couples and it feels really like one of them is grinning and bearing it. And that's the worst because I feel like I'm part of a problem that I didn't want to be. You know?
That makes perfect sense. Yeah.
So obviously when you said you had a girlfriend or whatever, I was like, yeah, no, she's going to hate me. And we ended up chatting, just the two of us, her and I, for like quite some time. And she was so cool. I was very struck with you guys because I had never met any couple that seemed so chill and open right out the gates. And we didn't end up hanging out for real until you guys came to LA. And can I tell the listeners that we all fucked?
Sure did.
Yeah, but it was really cool. Like they took me on a legit date and we had such a nice time. And from my experience, again, being like the third partner or like a lot of people use the term unicorn, and unicorn is the like third person that like a couple brings into the bedroom. Usually I feel like it's specifically for sex. From my experience understanding, that's what a unicorn is like couples go find their unicorn together and like bring them back and fuck them. And I think that a lot of couples come across really predatory and gross. I feel like there's so many memes about like couples like coming for chicks because there is like a meme, you know, like all those SpongeBob memes right now or the I'm out.
Yeah.
It's like a couple is sitting there having a drink with you and they go, we both find you very attractive. It's like,
I'm out. Input SpongeBob meme. Yeah, totally.
Yes. And I didn't feel that way with you guys at all. And I'm very sensitive to that kind of energy. And I just really liked everything about the way you guys functioned. And so I've been really curious to know a lot more about your relationship and the inner workings of it ever since I fucked you guys.
Oh, that's so great. No. Well, I think first of all, I mean, I think the first thing of attraction, I think for myself, and I can speak for her in this capacity as well, is you want to like the person that you're having sex with. You want to get to know them a little bit more. So hopefully there's some sort of chemistry. The chemistry is what makes the sex good, and the chemistry is what is hopefully going to just naturally happen. And if it's not, then you probably don't want to do it anyways. And it's going to be awkward. It's going to be all those things that you said before. And maybe one person likes the person more than the other, and then it goes in a weird place.
Yeah, threesomes can get wonky real fast.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. It's like I feel like a successful, quote unquote, connection like that isn't really going to happen that often. And I think that was very fortunate between the three of us.
The connection that the three of us had.
Yeah, because she was like, you know, Tamara was like, you was saying about you, like, oh, she's so great. Like,
so Tamara is his girlfriend.
Tamara is my girlfriend of almost 4 years. Yeah.
4 years. Okay. Yeah. And do you guys often find girls together, or do you guys usually find people separately outside of each other?
This answer varies in so many different ways. What happened between us? Like the three of us in that particular situation, it's that is really not a normal thing for us.
So I'm just that special.
Yeah, you can say that. Congratulations.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Listen up, fellas and ladies, I'm special.
Here's the thing, like when we're out in the world, it can be on the table. You know, but it really does take all of the three parts to kind of like come into for a quote unquote threesome to happen.
Right.
You know, in that capacity. But the thing is with her and I, like we operate, you know, individually as well. Okay. And again, you know, it's all about kind of getting to know somebody and hopefully creating that chemistry that, you know, and also somebody that gets it, because being poly or being in an open relationship looks different to every person. And for us, we are very clear about like what guidelines, what rules we have in place, and we talk about it all the time.
All right, so let's break it down for our listeners. There are several types of non-monogamous relationships.
Sure.
To my knowledge, feel free to weigh in if I'm incorrect.
So the actual dictionary definition of the word polyamorous is characterized by or involved in the practice of engaging in multiple sexual relationships with the consent of all the people involved. So technically on this one, it doesn't even mention feelings or any of that. But, well, let me also start by saying that I am in no way an authority in doing this and being in this style relationship. Tamara and I, again, have been together for 4 years. And for me personally, this is the first time I've ever experienced being in this style relationship where she has been doing this for years prior.
Okay. Then can I ask you how the transition was? Maybe like how it was from going from being monogamous your whole life to trying a polyamorous relationship, what that looked like?
Yeah, I had just come out of a relationship and also
a monogamous relationship.
I have only ever been in monogamous relationships. So the idea
until Tamara.
Exactly.
Okay, got it.
So meeting Tamara and her explaining kind of how it works for her, it was eye-opening, and I was like, this seems, I never even considered it to be an option. It seemed like so far out of bounds from anything I knew. And I didn't know anyone else that had been in a relationship like that. So her talking about her experience and like how it works for her, I was so intrigued because this is the first time I'm like, wow, this is like, seems like I could operate as myself, be myself, no guilt, no weird, like if I'm being flirty with somebody, because that's my nature, like,
you're not going to get in trouble.
I don't have to feel bad about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I would, she was very patient with me, and I got to ask a lot of questions and like kind of be.
So what are some of the questions that you asked her?
Yeah. Like a big one for everyone is like, do you not get jealous?
Yeah, that's a huge one.
Yeah. That's
so
like
how do you
#1.
check your ego? Because I feel like my ego is more powerful than my actual jealousy. You know?
You do have to kind of like split your like reason with your emotions. So, and you do have to keep that in check. And a big part of that is having an open line of communication. I mean, I would tell people all the time, I'm like, being open with your partner, whether you're in a monogamous relationship or poly or whatever you're in, I mean, it always comes down to that same thing, right?
Communication is literally everything.
It really is.
It's truly.
I mean, shit, they were right.
Yeah. So in your relationship, you guys date other people and get intimate, not just sexually. So since dating Tamara, have you found yourself having strong feelings for anybody else?
Yeah, I have. There's been, so inside of our relationship, there's been someone that I've dated for about a year, you know, pretty regularly. And, you know, it's not the easiest thing because, again, it's my first time being in a relationship like this. And also the person that I was dating, they've never kind of experienced being involved with somebody who's involved with someone else. But it is something where, you know, you always have to be upfront about who you are, what you want, and what the expectations are. And the thing is, it can vary. Sometimes you just have like a really great like physical connection with someone that you can like trust and like be with and have things on more of a fun capacity. And then sometimes you meet someone, you connect with them in a way that you're like, I want to be around this person more and get to know them more, and things can grow from that. And that's something where I have to be upfront with them and upfront with my partner about that as well. Has it altered the way you feel about Tamara? Do you find it hard to kind of juggle having feelings for multiple people, or has it come actually more natural to you? It actually does kind of come more natural to me. It's pretty, you know, how I feel about someone else doesn't affect the way that I feel about Tamara. You know, I kind of use the analogy of like if you and I are friends and I'm friends with someone else, because you and I have a close friendship, it doesn't make my friendship with someone else like lesser than or more than.
Right.
You know what I mean? So in a very similar way, those rules apply.
I love the idea of being poly. It sounds great. But then when I think about someone that I liking someone else, it blows my mind. I'm like, absolutely not. Like, you must love
not
me.
for everybody. Yeah, it's not for everybody.
But that's just my ego, because my ego's like, why why am I not enough for you to just be completely obsessed with me?
So let me ask you this.
Go
Let me
for it.
flip it on you right now.
Flip it on me.
So because of you being in the porn industry, this is probably a regular question for you as well, and you were dating somebody that was, let's just say, not in the porn industry,
Okay.
right? And they are like, hey, how can you and I have this connection, and then you're going to go have your job
Yeah.
fucking other people? It's an intimate thing. So it's kind of, there's a separation there, I feel. I mean, I'm kind of answering the question that I'm giving to you, but there's a similarity there, I think.
I haven't really dated seriously since I've been in the industry for that reason. I kind of have my guard up because I'm scared of that coming up. I don't want to get invested in someone that's going to eventually have a problem with my job. And I also don't want to quit my job for somebody. And I'm like a hopeless romantic, and I would do something stupid like that. So I've just kind of avoided it because for me, I'm more career focused at the moment. But for me, it's a little bit different because I'm not doing it just for funsies. Like, I'm getting a paycheck. And even if I have amazing chemistry with the person, like, usually that is done the second I walk off set. So even if it comes down to like fucking other people, I'm not like doing the cute texting shit. I'm not meeting for a drink.
Yeah.
So that does make it a little different. I was on the other side where I dated a guy in porn when I wasn't in porn.
Okay.
And I was a lot younger, and I had so many mixed feelings about it. And I think I really drug him through the ringer with all my different emotions about it and how unsure I felt. And, some days it was hot and some days it was devastating. And, it was so much ego. And I think when I finally understood the industry more, that's when I stopped tripping, because I realized, like, yeah, maybe he does like fucking these girls for work, but like that doesn't affect how he feels about me. But it took me a long time to
I think a lot of those same points that that you make in your comparison apply pretty directly to ours. Again, what me and my partner have does not it doesn't reflect at all with something I have going on with someone else or meeting someone else.
Do you have okay, so we've kind of like broken down. So there's open relationships and there's polyamory, and you're in a polyamorous relationship. Do you have any advice for people that might be interested in exploring that part of themselves? Do you have advice for someone who's maybe dating someone that's in a poly relationship?
Ooh, that's tricky because I consider myself kind of newer to it.
Okay.
I mean, number one is definitely always going to be the communication, I think. And kind of, if I can backtrack a little bit to your point about like open relationships and any of this actually is, I think it really changes for every person. Everyone has different rules. Everyone has different boundaries and things that they are comfortable with and things they like to have in place and set with their partner. And, there's so many dynamics of different people. And when you bring other people in, there's other dynamics of their shit and their likes and dislikes and what they want. So it really looks so different to every person. And that is why, like, everyone being on the same page and being communicative about what everyone is comfortable with.
Right. And I feel like whether you're dating one person exclusively or you're dating someone poly or whatever, I feel like you have to be so clear with your intentions, or you're either not going to get what you want or you're going to get hurt. And the older I get, the more I realize, like, communication is everything.
Yeah.
And there's no need to like play it cool if you're not feeling cool. If you really like someone, tell them, because you can know pretty fast if it's not going to work out,
Yeah. and I think a big thing too, like for me, like, and even in talking about this right now is like, and the name of your podcast, like, I don't want to feel bad about wanting to have sex with other people, like being attracted to people and like, that was a big part of this, and that was a big part of something I really needed to kind of like work out for myself, is always feeling so bad about being sexually active and like, wanting to have sex with people. Now, granted, being poly isn't all about having sex. It's really not. That's an option, of course.
Kind of taking the shame out of the desire.
Like I'm like, I don't want to feel bad about it. Like, I really don't. I feel like that's a really big point and something that I really get a lot out of being in this style relationship. And it's like, I don't walk around feeling some strange guilt being with somebody and just naturally being attracted to someone else. It's like a big part of it for me.
when I've been in monogamous relationships personally, it wasn't that I had a problem being with just one person. It was I had a problem with censoring myself. Like I was like, I don't want to not be a flirt, and I don't want to, like not be floor Ivy.
But that's the whole thing. Somebody might, depending on who you're dating, what kind of person they are, they might be like, oh, well, that's flirt, or your flirting is like cheating.
Oh, I know.
And it's like,
it is
well,
not so.
And in your eyes, sure, I'm not going to deny you that, but in my eyes, 100% no.
Yeah. So if you've been trying monogamy and it hasn't been working, then
great point.
It's the definition of insanity is like trying the same thing over and over again.
You know what? That's actually a really good point. I mean, that was, I feel for years and years. I mean, everyone that I've dated and I've been with, I mean, when I look back, I'm like, oh man, I didn't even think of this to be an option. And luckily meeting Tamara, I got shown this, and I feel like it's a real gift for me.
I feel like it's becoming more mainstream too. I feel like more people are open about it and talking about it, at least from what I've noticed. The same way like sex work and stripping and all this stuff is also becoming less taboo. I think the idea of non-monogamy is also becoming less taboo. And I think that people should try it. Like, why not? Trying the same thing over and over again is not working. So maybe try something different. Maybe it's not going to work, but I'm all about giving things a shot.
Yeah. I mean, I think, yeah, exactly. I mean, I think that's a great point where if you're unsatisfied and you see like a cycle of how you are with partners in the past, and you're like, I was like so fed up. I'm like, I'm so tired of like, you ultimately end up hurting people's feelings. And that shit eats me up. And like, it doesn't feel good to like, not align with someone and ultimately it hurts their feelings. But like, yeah. So I think for me, like I read that book, The Ethical Slut, which I'm going to go ahead and suggest to everybody. Like if
we'll put it in the show notes.
Yeah. Put it in there. I mean, it really helped me kind of like realize that there's a whole other dialogue. There's a whole other like terminology that goes along with this, and there's a lot of people. I mean, that's the whole thing. It's not super common and it's not socially normed, so it's not like crazy out there. In a way, you have to kind of dig a little bit and find some people that are but it is out there.
Is there any resource that you use to find other people that are interested in dating people that are in poly relationships? Do you use like the standard dating apps, or
you can do that. I think being open with people that you do meet, if you feel comfortable with them, is a good way to start. But if you're going to do the app thing, I know OkCupid will have the option of saying like ethically non-monogamous or open to non-monogamy, or and you can even say like, I'm in a relationship, or I'm single, I'm married, I'm whatever you are. And then you can also say like, oh, I'm looking for this. And you can be very specific. And I think ones like that are great because it does say where you're at.
I like
says
that says ethically non-monogamous.
Yeah. I mean, to your point earlier where you're like, oh, I felt shitty for like hooking up with this guy or this couple. And it was like, it shows that everyone's on the same page, and be like, cool. And then if you can ask questions like, oh, well, what's it like for you and your partner? And if you start getting some like half-ass answer, you'd be like, this person might not be on the level.
Bye, Felicia.
Yeah, I think that ultimately with anything, with dating or sex, at the end of the day, you got to use your noggin and your intuition.
That's it. That's
it. And your communication skills. We all need to brush up on that. I just feel like being as open and honest as possible is the easiest way to have a connection, and also to avoid hurting someone or being hurt. Yeah. Literally just state your intentions and make them clear.
Yeah, it is a brave thing to tell people what you want.
It is.
And
truly.
I think that's one of those things where if you get to that point, you're like, hey, this is what I'm looking for. Surprise, whatever. At least they might be like, wow, this is not what I'm into, but I respect you for telling me.
Yeah.
And that's something, there's something to be said for that. And then, moving forward, maybe an answer that you didn't really consider can come out of that. And that's, I think important.
All right. So take me through what it looks like if you or Tamara meet somebody new. Do you guys have rules? Do you have to run your date by her? Do you guys talk about it? Do you guys have planned sleepovers, or is it just kind of more touch and go?
Well, I guess the first thing is that we don't have to like say every move we're doing. sometimes you meet someone like spontaneously, or like something happens and we can talk about it. We can always be like, hey, well, how was your day today? Or like, did you see anybody while you're on your trip, or like whatever? And it's like, and we're, there's no.
You don't have to keep them updated in real time.
Exactly.
You can fuck someone and not tell her.
I mean, I guess technically, but I feel
like before. That's what I mean. Like, so you don't have to ask her before you do it. You can do it and then be like, so by the way, I did this.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
100%.
So then, so with fucking other people, it can kind of happen spontaneously, and that you do tell each other after the fact, but you don't have to check in prior. When it comes to getting more serious, is there a way in on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think ultimately we are in communication enough and often that she would know somebody that I would go out on a date with. I'm like, oh, I'm having a second date with them, or a third date, or and as it goes on, Tamara might be like, oh, so you've been seeing each other for a while. Like, is that how is that looking for you? And we really do talk through it.
Okay.
And which is nice.
Have you guys ever disagreed on someone? Like, have you ever really disliked someone that she's dated, or vice versa? And like, what would that look like if like there was if someone was kind of possibly creating a rift somehow? I mean, it sounds like it's very easy for you guys, but come on, there's got to be something.
Yeah, I wish there was more dirt to give you on this. There really isn't too much, because to the point of the communication thing, like everyone's pretty much on the same page. But like, Tamara's dated some people that haven't been, maybe like oh, this person kind of ended up being problematic, and I might have dated someone that's kind of like maybe not on the level like I thought they were, and we're pretty quick to like cut them out of the equation, because like her and I are first.
All right. Okay. So you guys are first. So what does it look like breaking up with someone, someone who's not a primary, if they're creating a problem for you in your primary?
I mean, no one's been like it hasn't been like a huge problem.
Let's pretend. What would that look like?
What would that? I mean, I don't know. What's the scenario here? Like, what did they do? Like, if somebody was like,
maybe they're just being like manipulative, or like maybe trying to like pull you away from your relationship with Tamara, and maybe someone comes in,
they want all the attention,
and they want to pull you from that and make you only theirs.
I think I think it would be like, hey, listen, I wasn't kidding at the beginning when I said like, this is how I operate, and this is how Tamara and I operate, and you're obviously not understanding that, so maybe it's time for you and I to part ways.
Oh, sassy. Do you ever get nervous that Tamara's gonna like fall madly in love with someone else she's seeing and then choose them as her primary?
This is a good question, because I do get this a lot.
Okay.
This can exist in any part of the world with any person. If you walk outside your front door and you go meet other people, this can exist. Right? When you go to work, there's someone at your work that's kind of like, oh, this person's kind of attractive, and you have a rapport with them, right? This can exist anywhere.
Right.
The great thing about what we have, I feel, is that we get to explore those things and then talk about them immediately after if we want to. And we are always on the same page and always have like a really good idea of where each of us are. So it makes that kind of thing way less scary.
Right, because you guys have that open line of communication.
And here's the fucking best part of it. It brings her and I together even closer. And it really does. There's this part that, and I think being in this style relationship, you can't really speak to in the same way that you can in a monogamous one, because it's so foreign, is that we really do get closer and closer when we have those talks and those moments, and when you're moving around and you're not together and you had that, and it just brings a sense of closeness that I haven't had with anyone else.
I love it. It's clearly not for everyone, and you guys are kind of unusual, to be honest. Like, I've never met a couple that's open, that functions this high functioning. So it's really impressive. I think that's why I wanted to have you on. And I just know that there's so many people that are fascinated by this subject, and I just wanted to shine a little light on it for people that are curious, because I think that if you have been unhappy time and time again, it doesn't hurt to extend those branches out a little bit and try something different. And if you hate it, you hate it. But I don't think that every single person is programmed to be monogamous. And it might be as simple as opening up a relationship or choosing to date someone that might be more inclined to be interested in something like that.
Sure.
So just normalizing the stuff that's not normal, and that's what Slut Shame This is here to do.
Totally. Yeah, and and like I said before, like if you go and have this experience and you kind of walk down that path a little bit and looking into some aspect of this being part of your future like relationships, it doesn't have to look like mine. It doesn't have to look like someone else, but it can be like some version of it that lets you feel more free and be yourself inside of a relationship, and it can exist for sure.
All right, I have like just one more topic I'd like to discuss about polyamory that I'm curious about. And I know that obviously the basic answer is going to be, at the end of the day, communication and trust and all that. But what does a sexual safety practice look like for polyamory, since you guys are being with multiple partners and, not checking in prior to some of these partners and checking in after? Do you guys get tested regularly? Do you guys have rules about condom use, birth control? I'm really interested to hear about what that looks like.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that's super important, obviously, as well. If you're being being sexual with other people, condoms are a must,
Is that a hard rule with you guys, condoms?
100%, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there's not really any sort of like outside of
you guys, you two.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Her and I, yeah, of course. Mm-hmm. But we are, that's pretty much the hard rule with that. There's not really.
Do you guys get tested regularly?
Yeah, we do.
And then do you share your status with each other? Do you guys because like me as a performer, I have to get tested every 13 days.
Yeah.
So I'm always screened, and, we have to show our partners. I'm wondering if it kind of looks like that for you guys, even though you guys are in a relationship. Do you plan out testing to like kind of be like in the same testing cycle, so you guys are like fresh tested together? Or is it just kind of like, do you only go get tested when you are scared you got something?
No, well, I mean, we're really mindful about how we're having sex with people,
right?
And so luckily I can say that I haven't had like a scary experience in a very, very, very long time.
Great.
I mean,
love it.
Yeah, so that's a nice thing.
Yeah.
So like her and I don't really have those moments. We've never had those moments. Mm-hmm. But we, again, we get tested regularly, mm-hmm. And I think it's...
And you use condoms?
Yeah, so it's kind of one of those things where the technicality of getting tested is kind of like, we do it, but I'm never like...
It's not militant?
I wonder... Well, I mean, like, I'm never like, I wonder what this one's going to say, because I'm like, it's...
STDs can be sneaky son of a bitches, though. They really can.
Sure. But I'm just saying, like, being very consistent on, on things is really important.
Right. Yeah, I definitely would. This is, again, just a recommendation, but for any people that are sexually active with more than one person, I think getting tested minimum every 3 months should be the norm, to be quite honest.
Yeah, that's a really good.
Just because you could be carrying something without symptoms, and you just never know. And it's, especially for women with our reproductive health, if that's important to you, and it should be even mm-hmm. if you don't want to have kids, just get tested every 3 months if you are sleeping with more than one person. Honestly, even if you're in a monogamous relationship, might as well, because some people are polyamorous and just don't know it. Can't be honest.
One of the partners,
aka cheaters. So yeah, keep yourself safe and get tested. And for me, it's made my sexual shenanigans feel a lot safer to know that I'm always getting tested and I always have a clean test.
It's great. It's good PSA.
Justin, thank you so much for coming on Slut Shame This today and sharing your intimate details of your wonderful relationship with us.
Hey, thanks for having me. It was really great. You're the best.
Aw, thanks, Justin. Safe travels back to
Thanks. Yeah, I'm catching this red eye tonight.
Yeah. He popped in just for this show, and now he's heading back to New York.
Yep.
New York.
I'm ready.
Good. Tell Tamara I said hi. Hi, Tamara. She's listening right now.
I'm sure, yeah.
Hi.
I'll give her a nice kiss from you.
A big wet one.
Of course.
Okay, perfect.
Thanks.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
That was so interesting to hear from Justin about how him and Tamara make that work.
I know, it's kind of wild, right?
Yeah, it's so wild, but really cool and so nice of him to open up and like let us into their little world.
I know, yeah, it's a very intimate conversation, so we're really thankful to have Justin on and have him be so open and candid about his relationship.
Yeah.
So thank you, Justin. And we'll link his Instagram because he's a really great tattoo artist. So is Tamara. If you guys want to check out their work, we will link the Instagrams on our show notes.
Yeah.
And he also mentioned the book, The Ethical Slut. So I think we should link that as well for people that are interested in learning how to be an ethical slut.
Cool.
We should all be ethical sluts.
Mm-hmm. Only kind.
All right. DMs of the week. If you guys don't know already, I begrudgingly made my third Ivy Instagram account. Woof. I did not want to pay the $1,000 to get the old one back. And so here we are. I started it 3 days ago. If you guys want to follow me, it's Ivy LaBelle. So ITS Ivy LaBelle. And I've already gotten quite a few DMs in my other inbox. I've had it up for like 3 or 4 days, and it says I have 99 plus DMs. So let's just fire some off, yeah?
Take a little stroll down DM lane.
All right, just get in there. All right, your feet is the best on foot fetish. You are better all porn star. Thank you, I think.
Better all. Maybe he meant alt.
I don't know.
I learned
that. Yeah, Control Alt Delete.
Yeah.
Another one. Hello, Mistress Ivy. Love your performances. You are my favorite star on Femdom Empire. So we've already covered 2 fetishes.
Wow.
We've got a Femdom fetishist and a foot fetishist. Make me horny, baby. As long as I live.
Like, excuse me, have I not already?
Okay, hey, good luck in your career. I'm from London, UK. Just want to spread a positive message and send you all the best wishes. Remember to do what you want, grow how you want, grow and stay happy. Wow.
That's a bit sweet.
That was very sweet.
Motivational.
You know what? If you're listening, person who I won't out anyone in my DMs particularly, but that was refreshing.
That's nice. Well, speaking of positive messages, why don't I read one of our reviews?
I love reading our reviews.
Do you?
Yes. Such joy and positivity.
Well, this is a 5-star review from Jake Simmons 815, and it says, super fun podcast that gets me through 4 p.m. traffic in Hollywood. These girls are funny, a sexual force to be reckoned with ×2. And the title for the review is Refer This One to Mom, which I love.
Yeah. Best part.
So good.
Thank you. Was that Jake Simmons?
Yes.
Thank you, Jake Simmons.
We love you. Thank you. And everyone else, if you haven't reviewed our podcast yet, please do. It really helps us. And rate, subscribe, share with your friends. Do your thing.
Shout us out.
Yeah. Tag us when you're being slutty. As always, you can find us on Instagram and Twitter at SlutShameThis. And please share us with your friends and get the message out there.
Please. And also, I'm just going to just chime in and say, please follow my new Ivy account, too. It's Ivy LaBelle.
Yeah, and you can follow my Instagram. I've never plugged it before, but it's Gidget the Fidget.
Yes, please.
So if you want to, now that it's not private anymore.
And send DMs all around. We love, that's like our favorite part of the show sometimes. So.
The filthier the better, but no pictures, please.
No pictures.
I won't open them.
Use your words.
Use your words. Yeah.
All right, guys.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
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 Can you do a Billy Madison bye?
No, I don't know how.
Okay.
I don't think he does. I don't think he does that. I'm trying to think.
I felt you almost do it.
I almost did it. I was trying to do an Adam Sandler bye, but then I was like, I don't know if I can nail that because I can't picture him saying it. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Love you.
Love you.
Lilas, love you like a sister.